Unmarked graves, burial markers lost, and families left wondering where their loved ones ended up. Researchers are working to bring order to a public cemetery where people with little money were buried. Channel 5's Christian Von Pricing explains what's happening and how things got this way. Christian.
The problem is, someone may know their loved one is buried at this county-owned cemetery.
It was just a little white stone like this one here.
They don't know exactly where their loved one was placed.
See him right there, yeah.
Gloria Ramirez
I remember we came for the burial,
is working off the memory of a 10-year-old.
and I remember the tombstone that was next to her, but she didn't have one, so there was no way I could ever find her.
Gloria was just a kid when her grandmother died in the 1960s.
It seemed like there was a path.
Now she's getting help from anthropologist Sarah Rowe. She's a professor from UTRGV who's leading a group of students. They've identified 1,018 confirmed grave sites at the county cemetery. The students marked the individual graves, and the data they collected can pair up with documents like the paperwork Ramirez brought with her.
Okay.
They're about to locate Ramirez's grandmother.
We have one of the names.
By spotting the dates and names that are still legible on the graves, they're able to match the burial order on Gloria's list.
Herminia Lopez.
Eventually.
Rosa. So your grandmother is here.
She's right on. I'm stepping on her. She's right here.
Your grandma's here.
Oh.
Gloria Ramirez is now reunited. After decades. This unmarked grave is now number 1,019 in this county-owned cemetery. Each student spends their class taking notes of each grave they see. Others are unmarked, hidden under bare ground. The team brought in forensic dogs.
They did note 20 different locations where there were people buried but don't have markers.
They also used ground-penetrating radar equipment. These methods can't cover the whole area.
We do need to sort of target specific areas when we use that equipment.
It means the bare ground could hold more unmarked, unknown burials. An Hidalgo County spokesperson says the county bought the land from Hillcrest Memorial Park in 1935. The county continued to lay people to rest here who couldn't afford a burial. We asked the county multiple times where the records are. They couldn't tell us, but say they're still researching the issue.
I was very surprised.
It gets more complicated.
I believed that this was ours.
Ramirez was able to get her paperwork because her grandmother lies in an area Hillcrest thought was theirs.
That was my understanding, but the survey has said differently.
Hillcrest Director Sarah Props says the county reviewed surveys and took over an organized documented portion that Hillcrest was managing.
People are buried according to date of death.
As for the records of the remaining scattered grave sites within the county property,
That's county. Who knows? We don't have them. And as far as I know, over decades, I don't know that county has them.
Ramirez's reunion with her grandmother is the lucky exception. More possible unknown graves could exist.
The best way to know who is here is to go systematically grave by grave.
Recording information, searching bare ground, trying to make sense of a decades-old mystery. Christian Von Pricing, Channel 5 News at 6.
So, Christian, there are records for some of the graves at the county-owned cemetery, but not all, right?
Yeah, that's right. Hillcrest used to own a portion that the county took over. The rest of the county cemetery was used for public burials. We've asked for those records from the county, and we still haven't heard if any exist. We'll stay on top of the issue and keep asking for those answers.